and welcome to my channel. You are the one where we talk all things law of assumption to help make your manifesting journey easier and more fun. And all this week we are talking about money and improving our money story using the amazing teachings of law of assumption. And today's topic is living from the end of wealth. So living in a state of wealth. What does that mean? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Stick around. My name is Hedley Derenzie and I am a qualified life coach and author specializing in law of assumption. If you'd like to know more about me or my offerings, including coaching and my free self-concept course, you can find those details in the box below this video or at my website, youaretheone.com.au. But we are just going to get straight into today's topic and this week's topic, which is money. Money. I definitely have a good money story, but I still work on it. There's so much more I want to experience with money, and I find money is just a great way to put these teachings into practice and application, because you're not dealing so much with other people's emotions. Like with people, there can be a lot of other assumptions that are going on, but money seems to be quite clean because it's an inanimate object, I guess, or it's a number. It feels a lot easier to work with because it's just you and this thing that you're working with. I mean, it's all consciousness, but I do find money is a great way to play with these teachings and experiment with them, because you do get instant feedback, and also it just feels great to have money coming in and to see the benefits of the work that you're doing, and money is just a great way to do that. So I encourage you to work on your money story, improving it. Even if you have a wonderful money story and you have a great relationship with money, there is always an opportunity to expand and experience more, because there's nothing wrong with having more money. There's nothing wrong with money at all. And certainly part of the setup with our money story are those old negative assumptions that perhaps some of us, if not all of us, have had at some point. You know, money is hard to get, or money is hard to come by. Money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. Like all of those negative assumptions that are very common around money. It's just part of the setup in order to create an awesome adventure so that we can awaken to the loving causes of our reality, which we are. And in order to do that, we've got to have something to overcome and to awaken from. And what better than some shitty assumptions about money? A great way to start improving and expanding your money story is to write out a list of the assumptions that you currently have about money. Like, what do you believe to be true about money? What are the assumptions that you have about money? And if you're not sure, what were the assumptions that your parents had about money? What did they teach you about money? That will inform you as to what your assumptions might be, because we inherit a lot of those assumptions about money. And if we are from the generation of parents or grandparents that went through the Depression, a lot of those, or the war, then they will have a very different money story, and understandably so, where, you know, money is hard to come by. Money you got to work hard for. In terms of the industrial age, you know, where you went to work and you worked at a job 9 to 5 and you stayed with the same company for 50, 60 years until you retired, and then you got a pension and you lived out the rest of your life being paid from your hard work throughout your earlier life. So, you know, it's a very different world we live in today, and therefore our assumptions with money, we want to be updating them in order to bring them into alignment with where we're at in today's world and today's reality. And our reality, of course, we are the creators of our reality, making sure that those assumptions are in your favor. They're working in your favor, where they are helping you to experience the wealth that you are entitled to experience. And when I say entitled, I mean you are the loving cause of your reality. You are the creator of your reality in consciousness, and therefore whatever you want to experience, whatever you desire to experience, you absolutely have the right to experience that, because that's why we're here. We're here to experience our desires. That's why, you know, that's why we've got this beautiful physical body, so that we can have these experiences with our 5 senses, with the living in the end in the state of wealth. Money is simply a state of consciousness that has been projected out and reflected back. So if you are in an experience in your reality where money is not flowing easily, that's simply because you are in a state of consciousness that is restricting money or in resistance to the flow of money or wealth. Obviously, in the last video, I talked about having money equals having money. In order to have money, you have to focus on the money you have. It's very simple. We love to complicate things. The brain is a problem-solving tool, but sometimes it can work against us because we can have something that's really simple and then we love to make it more complicated than it is. But this stuff is really simple, really, really, really simple. To have money, you got to have money. And if you've got money, focus on that money and you'll have more money. So simple. Like, it really does make me laugh. And when I say that, I'm right in there with you. Like, sometimes because I'm thinking so much and I'm often like working things out in my head and doing all that sort of shit, I make things more complicated than it needs to be. And that's why these videos help me, because as I'm sharing this stuff, I'm like, yeah, this stuff is simple. Right, Hedley? Let's not forget that. Like, I'm talking to myself and I'm going to be watching this back later and going, okay, like, taking notes. I'm kidding. If you want to experience wealth, you have to be living in the state of wealth. And another way to get into that state is to ask yourself the question, what do I want to feel by having more money? That's a really good question to ask yourself. What do I want to feel? And get really clear on that answer. Do you want to feel relief? Do you want to feel abundance? Do you want to feel generous? Do you want to feel free? Do you want to feel safe? Do you want to feel secure? Do you want to feel prosperous? Do you want to feel excited? Do you want to feel validated? Do you want to, like, what is the feeling that you want to experience as a result of having more money? Because that will take you to the state of consciousness that you are looking to money to give you. Now, keep in mind, nothing in your reality can give you anything. You are the source of everything. Your reality is the reflection of everything that you're doing in consciousness. So you cannot be going out into reality trying to get more money. That is not where you will find it. You will find your wealth within, and then your reality will reflect it back once your subconscious has accepted that that's the command. Now, most of us are commanding our subconscious to project a story of not having enough money, or having too many bills, or having like a shitty money story, or the partner not paying child support, or the person, the friend, the ex-friend, the whatever, not paying the loan back. Like, whatever it is, that all starts within us. And then these characters have to show up and reflect back this story. We're telling them, don't give the money back, because that will then say that I'm worthy, and I have this assumption that I'm not. So, you know, like, your reality will always tell you where you're at in your subconscious, not where you think you're at, but where you're really at. And that's why it can be a bit confusing, because we often think we're a little bit further along in our story. We think hang on a second, I got this sorted, and then like reality is reflecting back a situation where shit ain't sorted. And that is what's really going on in your subconscious. So again, with all of this stuff, be really gentle with yourself. There's no need for guilt or self-blame or any of that stuff, because hey, that's just adding another layer of shittiness onto what's already a bit of a shitty story. So don't do any of that. Just look at your reality of like, okay, what is it that my reality is telling me about the story that I'm telling about money in my subconscious? What's the story that's running? It probably came from a long time ago, but a really fast way to get out of that story is to align to why you want to experience more money in your reality, because that feeling state, that experience is what you want from the having of more money. So if you are already having that feeling, if you feel relieved, if you feel wealthy, if you feel prosperous, if you feel abundant, if you feel excited, if you feel powerful, if you feel generous, if you feel, what else did I say? Whatever else I said, if you're already feeling those feelings and you're persisting in those feelings, then that is commanding the subconscious that you are already in a state of wealth. And therefore that command will be accepted by your subconscious and then projected out and reflected back. I want you to get really clear on what's the feeling that you want to experience from the having of more money in your reality. And like more free. I want to feel more free. I want to feel expanded. I want to feel luxurious. I want to feel lavish. Like, as you know, as many of you know from watching my videos, I love air travel. Oh my God, obsessed with it. And over the years, I have used these principles, not realizing that it was law of assumption at the time, but I've used these principles to go from economy class. I only ever flew economy when I was young and growing up and into my 20s. And I was doing a lot of traveling because we Australians, we love traveling around the world. And so that's just something that we've all been brought up with here in Australia, that, you know, you finish school and you go off traveling. But it was only ever an economy story. And then I'm like looking down the plane going, hang on a second, what's going on down there? I want to be up there. And so I then used these principles to manifest myself into business class to the point where that became my normal. I just had the money for it, and I created that, whereas before I didn't, but I just assumed that that's, I just fly business class. And then I was like, oh, hang on a second, I want to experience first class. So I managed to create that experience, and then the other experience that I haven't yet manifested that I am continuing to work on is private. I want to know what it's like to fly like a G650 or a G600. I'm really not fussy about whatever G I experienced in terms of a private jet. I would like to be able to stand up though. So I do need one of those jets that will be able to accommodate a 6'1" woman. So trust me, I know the interiors of those jets like the back of my hand. That's just something I love. I probably enjoy the air travel more than the destination. I could just continue to fly around the world, and that's just something that I love, enjoy, and always have. I've been obsessed with planes ever since I was young. So for me to experience that means to be in a state of wealth, to be in a state of luxury. Don't get discouraged if things don't show up immediately. Enjoy the fact that you can go there in your imagination. So I've actually flown private jet more times than I can count because I go there regularly in my imagination, and I know that my reality has to reflect back at some point. And in fact, I am already envisioning doing a video from my private jet or from a private jet. I don't necessarily want to own one. I think I'm getting off topic. The point I'm trying to make is you want to be in the experience of why you want the money. Like, what do you want the money for? What do you want to experience? What do you want to feel? Because that is why you want the money from reality, because you want to feel something. So what is it that you want to experience? Experience it now. Use your imagination to get into that experience, and then persist. Hold it, enjoy it, be in it. Use your 5 senses in imagination to create the reality of it in imagination. And then just roll with it, keep staying connected with it. Tithe with God, 10% of your income, connecting with your imagination and playing out the scenes that you want to experience in reality, really getting into the sensory experience of them, and then persisting with them every day, and then getting on with your wonderful, beautiful, amazing, abundant life. That's all I have. I hope that helps. As always, please remember that you are the amazing creators of your reality. You are the superstar of your show. You are the producer, the writer, the director, and the actor in your movie. What you assume to be true will be so. So assume the best for you and assume the best for everyone in your movie too, and you will have an amazing life. And this is my wish, my vision, and my prayer for you and for me too. I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.